guys, so this week I'm back for week number 2 of my new video vlog. So I'm doing this video. I'll tell you guys my story about car surfing. The first time I car surfed was approximately 2 weeks ago, and we were at my friend's house, and there might or might not have been some alcohol involved. But we were playing some Uno, and we were just kind of bored. We had nothing to do. So the way this happened, one of my friends had to leave, and she was giving my other friend a ride. So we didn't want them to go. So we're like, oh, don't go. And she has this big truck. So we jumped on the back of the truck. Actually, let me rephrase that. Everyone else jumped on the back of the truck, and they were being punks. So they left me because I don't know where, like, as she was backing out, she saw this random guy standing on the side of the house. And the way my friend's house is, so her house is right here, and over here in the back is her garage, and then there's like a sidewalk, and we were just sitting back here playing Uno. And then as my friend was backing out, she like stopped because she said she saw like a random guy just standing on the pathway thing, and obviously we just kind of freaked out. So here's her house, and then there's a random guy. I parked right here on the side, and I left my windows down with my wallet, my keys, everything in my car, because I figure I'll be sitting just right there. So whenever they said this, I went and I put my window up, locked my keys and all of that. Lock my doors and all of that, and then I say turn around. They're all like on top of my friend's truck. My friend is dressed, and they're all going. So I'm like, okay, I start walking out like behind the car, and they're already like going towards the corner. So I'm like, they're gonna stop, and then you have to turn around before getting to the corner. So I couldn't see them anymore, but thinking that my friends are great friends, I was like, okay, they're probably gonna be waiting for me in the corner. So I get to the corner, there's no one there. So I'm like, what the hell, right? It's not like they can just disappear. So I'm like, them motherfuckers. So I grab my phone trying to call them, and then out of nowhere from the other side I see this white truck pulling up. So I'm like, okay, that's them, because she drives a white truck. So like, okay, that's them. So I was just waiting. I'm about to start screaming at them for being fucked up or whatnot. And it's this one truck with like 2 scary looking men in the truck playing this loud ass music, being really ghetto and scary. And then they looked at me, they said something, so just like, and at this point I might or might not had been kind of drunk. So I'm like, oh my god. And this is something I tell all my friends all the time. They make so much fun of me. But it's true. This is what happens to me. When I get drunk, my brain is perfectly fine. This is really embarrassing. I know I'm telling you guys. But my brain is perfectly fine. It is just my body that starts acting drunk. Because I am perfectly fine. I know everything that's happening. I am fine. It is just my body does not do well with the alcohol. So I see this guys, and I'm not really like ladylike, I guess. Not exactly. So, instead of a normal person and just pretending, I didn't see the guys, I didn't hear them saying random stuff to me. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, talking on the phone, yeah, like, so they won't try to rape me or kidnap me or something. What did I do? I look at them, and then I turn around, start running. I just started running and screaming a little. I'm pretty sure they were like, I'm pretty sure I scared them off, which is good, because they probably thought I was crazy, which is good. But yeah, that's what he did. So I go back to the house, and I just jumped in my car, and I locked the doors, because I'm like, I know someone's about to come out, and no, I'm not ready to be raped. My body is not ready. So I locked myself in the car, and then like some of my friends, they come at me like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, well, you host left me, and I was about to get raped, so no. So then, they made fun of me and whatnot, and they were saying how it was like so much fun. And at this point, the only ones left, it was my friend Giovanni, Shay, and I. So we go back, and we're like, oh, we kind of want to do that again. That was so much fun. So we use my car, and I drive a minivan. Yeah. So we get on my car, and there's no, like, on the top, on the roof, there's nowhere to hang on to. So we're trying to figure out how, like, we're gonna hang on or whatever. So this is what we did. My friend Shay was driving. So what I did is on the back, on the sliding door, there's actually a handle for you to hang on, you know, when you're sitting down or whatever, because in the front they don't have that. So what I did is I opened the sliding door and I was hanging on to it because Giovanni thought that me being me, I would probably be the one to fly off and die. So he like, you know, just hang on to it. He like, you have to go in the back so you can hang on. So I'm like, okay. And then I was scared that the sliding door were just gonna like just crush me or break something. So I'm like awkwardly hanging on to it with my leg, just like just pushing the door so it won't crash me. So I'm like awkwardly just like, yeah, I'm ready. And then Giovanni, there's nowhere for him to go, and he's like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. So he jumped on the top of the roof. He was hanging on, but he's like really tall, really skinny guy. So I was just like, Giovanni, you are about to die. What are you doing? Because there's nowhere to hang on. So I'm like, oh my god, he is gonna die. But anyway, so like I'm hanging on over here, then trying to hang on to him because I don't want him to die. And then my friend Shay starts driving, and she's not the best driver. I did say that, don't tell her I said that. Because she drives like a maniac. That is it. She's a speed racer, doesn't give a fuck. So, and this is in her gated neighborhood. So we're like, okay, let's just do it in here. It's safe. So we're like, we'll be fine. So, you know, she starts driving. So, and then out of nowhere, Giovanni's like, hey, hey. I'm like, what? He's like, is that a cop? I'm like, no. And then he's like, no, 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 look, that's a cop. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, no, why would there be a cop here now? Like, you just, no. And he's like, no, no, yes, that's a cop, that's a cop. So then, and then like next thing you know, he jumped off, like off the moving car, off the roof of a moving car. I was like, Jesus Christ, Giovanni, what the hell? So then I look, and that's a fucking cop. So I just jumped up, like out, and then Shay just like, she just hit the brakes, and then we just jumped in there like, holy shit, that's a cop. And then we're just like freaking out because also we had an open bottle in the car. Maybe not, who knows. And so obviously we knew we were gonna be in trouble. So I'm like, oh my god, I could already feel it. I was gonna get, like, we were gonna go to jail or something, and I did not want to have to explain to my parents why I was car surfing in the middle of the night. So I obviously did not want to have that conversation. Obviously not. And no. So, we're freaking out. The next thing, you know, the cop starts moving. So we're like, holy shit. And, I mean, you just see the cop. He's, like, coming towards us. And the next thing you know, he just turns around and he just left. So, yeah. Which was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Cop, whoever you were. Thank you so much. So he just left. He knew we were just some stupid kids doing stupid shit, which is totally fine. So we just decided we were gonna stop. That was enough. So we went back to her house, and we just stayed in my car, talked for a few, because that's usually what we do. Just do a bunch of nothing. Well, fun nothing, obviously. But this is it for this week. But I'll be seeing you guys soon. So just be good. Have fun. Adios.